So Donald Trump gave Iran an ultimatum to open the Straits of Hormuz by giving them a 48 hours. So the first time he gave that ultimatum was on the 21st of March 2026.
President Trump threatened Iran, saying within 48 hours from this exact point in time, if Iran didn't fully open without threat the Strait of Hormuz, the United States would hit and obliterate their various power plants, starting with the biggest one first. Now, that was Saturday at about 7:45 p.m. Eastern. So that 48 hours would be like today, except today the Strait of Hormuz is still closed.
And when is today for her? Like today for her is on the 23rd of March 2026. The time I'm reacting to this video is the 24th of March 2026, and we have not heard any update to which that America has attacked the Straits of Hormuz.
So when is this bombing going to start? Well, it's not.
They called. I didn't call. They called. They want to make a deal. And we are very willing to make a deal. It's got to be a good deal. We're doing a 5-day period. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well, we're going to end up with settling this. Otherwise, we'll just keep bombing our little hearts out.
So today, President Trump says because of that discussion and possible deal, he's going to hold off on this huge threat of obliterating Iran's power plants for the next 5 days. The only problem with that is, according to Iran's foreign ministry, there was no dialogue between Iran and the president's team at all. They say they have no idea what Trump is talking about. So why is Trump saying that it happened?
Iran's foreign ministry says you're not telling the truth when it comes to productive conversations to end the war.
They're going to have to get themselves better public relations people. We have had very, very strong talks. We'll see where they lead. We have major points of agreement. I would say almost all points of agreement. Perhaps that hasn't been conveyed. The communication, as you know, has been blown to pieces. But we're dealing with the man who I believe is the most respected and the leader.
Not the Supreme Leader?
No, not the Supreme Leader.
So you just heard it. The president is doubling down that these talks with Iran did happen, that U.S. negotiators.
Then who are we talking about? Who is it? Because it has to be the new Supreme Leader. Who is this leader to which he is literally talking about?
Are talking with a man in Iran who is the most respected leader, though Trump did not name this leader. And Trump's going as far as to say that the deal is almost done. So what did Iran agree to?
But we want to see no nuclear bomb, no nuclear weapon, not even close to it, low key on the missiles. We want to see peace in the Middle East. We want the nuclear dust. We're going to want that. And I think we're going to get that. We've agreed to that. Yeah, we've agreed to that.
You want the enriched uranium before you can end this.
And we want no enrichment, but we also
You heard what he said. They want enrichment.
want the enriched uranium. If this happens.
And also, like, I feel that, like the way things are going, like if they lose this war, then we should be certainly for sure guarantee that the takeover of Iceland, not Iceland, sorry about that, Greenland, will never happen.
It's a great start for Iran to build itself back, and it's everything that we want.
It's also important that you know on Friday, so only about 24 hours before Trump made the 48-hour threat, he said this about making a deal.
I don't want to do a ceasefire. You don't do a ceasefire when you're literally obliterating the other side.
Look, the facts are very difficult to get straight here. The president literally changes his message minute by minute. 1 minute, he doesn't want to make a deal because the United States is obliterating Iran. The next, he's making a 48-hour threat to bomb Iran's energy infrastructure. And the next, not only is he postponing that 48-hour deadline, but now he's extending it to 5 days because a deal is basically done, even though he originally said we don't want a deal because why would we do that when we're obliterating the other side? All while Iran says the talks with Trump's people never happened. So I don't blame you if you're confused. I am confused too. But what we can know
I'm confused also myself.
for a fact is what today's positive talk from the president about making a deal and the postponement of his 48-hour threat is doing to the U.S. stock market and to the global oil market. Now, it's still early in the day, so all of these numbers can still change today. But as soon as the market opened today, you can see a big rally on Wall Street. You can see the Dow is up between 700 and 800 points. And look what happened to the global oil market the second President Trump said that he had called off that 48 hours.
Yes, this is what I always saw about Trump. Like, whatever Trump says, like, it's all about making money. You should see that, like, anything that he says will always move markets. So maybe his buddies, he was like, you know what? But I believe now he is also some of this stuff. Maybe he must be like getting from some of his advisors or to which are still helping him make this money, and other of his friends who are making money also. You know, like these billionaires. You know, like whenever they say something to which will affect the oil prices, you know, like whenever they need something to happen, Trump is the guy, you know. Trump is the guy to make this stuff, you know, like sort of like he would exaggerate stuff to feel that I believe that, you know, when Trump says something, I feel that it will happen after he attacked the leader, the supreme leader, killed the first supreme leader. So even if this was the case, whereby he sent out a message of saying that within 48 hours, we are attacking Iran because they are not opening the Strait of Hormuz. And all of a sudden, like, he calls it off. Market manipulation. So 5 days after the market closes on Friday. Got it. You see, like, curious times.
Hour strike and that there was an imminent deal. That is the price for a barrel of oil. Do you see that dramatic drop off? That's about a 10% reduction in the cost for a barrel of oil.
Donald Trump has lost control on his war with Iran, and let me tell you why. Because it starts with this.
As I announced earlier, based on preliminary conversations between the United States and Iran over the past 2 days, I've directed the Department of War to temporarily postpone planned strikes against major energy and electricity targets in Iran.
Today was the day. He vowed to obliterate Iranian power plants after his 48-hour ultimatum was up. It was a threat: open the world's most important oil route, the Strait of Hormuz, or American bombs would be falling on those Iranian power plants. And now, though, he says that they actually have 5 days or they will keep bombing our little hearts out.
So we're giving it 5 days, and then we're going to see where that takes us. And I would say
it shows that eventually he does not have the power no more. Like, keeps on postponing until when we can see that who has the most power here. It does look like Iran has the most power, and even their allies, like, or say Saudi Arabia, the UAE, you know, Iraq. Like, America is using their military bases, but it seems like they're not attacking Iran, you know. It seems like they're spectating, they're part of it, but they're spectating. And America is doing the damage. But they're still losing this war because all the ally countries of America ships are being bombed.
At the end of this period, I think it could very well end up being a very good deal.
And so you're probably wondering what actually happened. Trump says they are talking about a deal with Iran, but that's actually news to about everyone involved in this war, because Iran says there are no talks, either direct or indirect, that is taking place. And Trump seems to be in fear. And here's another reason that shows Trump has no concrete plan. His objectives have changed. At first, it was for Iranians to rise up and take control of their government. That obviously hasn't happened. And now it seems it is about regime change.
And there'll also be a form of a very serious form of a regime change. Now, in all fairness, everybody's been killed from the regime. There's automatically a regime change. But we're dealing with some people that...
It's about regime change, but the person you killed, son, came in to replace him, but still is not aligned to the West, to which he's talking about the regime change, to which we are like, what regime change is he talking about? Because Iran still is aligned to the Eastern countries, let me say Russia, Russia, China, all these other countries.
I find to be very reasonable, very solid. The people within know who they are. They're very respected. And maybe one of them will be exactly what we're looking for. Look at Venezuela, how well that's working out.
But we know that's factually not true. Look, this is foreign policy in real time. No plan, no consistency, no strategy. And the world's oil trade and the global economy all hangs in the balance. So what did we get? 48 hours of uncertainty, and it turns out it didn't mean a thing.
There you go, guys. Let's hear on any other updates to which we can hear from President Trump in terms of the next update, which is there anything gonna happen, or are they just stopping the war? Because it seems like at the moment that's the only way for them to do it, because their allies are not attacking. America's allies are not attacking. They have nothing to do with this. Even the UAE, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, they are doing nothing, but America is using their military bases. So what does that tell you? It does show that they are powerless, even though if they have a lot of, jets, fighter jets in the sky, but still, like, that is just a flex. If you don't have the power to open the Straits of Hormuz, then just forget it. But that's my fault. Despite that, guys, thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe. Let's meet up to the next video. I would like to say it. Peace out.